Hello and welcome to this video related to MicroStrategy. None of the content is financial advice. In this video, we'll discuss MicroStrategy's technical analysis, machine learning based price forecast, as well as accumulation related to compound annual growth rate based model. None of the content, as I mentioned earlier, is financial advice. Let's get started. This is the weekly price action for MicroStrategy over the course of between December 2022 till about November 2024. The stock grew by about 3900%, roughly speaking, a 40x, more than 40x from the bear market lows in terms of the 2021 bull run till the 2022 bear market. The stock dropped by about 89%, and is this stock is primarily a proxy for their Bitcoin holdings. MicroStrategy holds about 450,000 Bitcoins on their balance sheet, and most of their market cap comes from the Bitcoin that they hold. What is curious is when they started accumulating Bitcoin early August 2020. The price of Bitcoin back then was at around $12,000, roughly speaking, 11,690 $690. From that point, Bitcoin has right now the price of Bitcoin is at around $92,000. That means Bitcoin grew less than 9x from that point in time, whereas MicroStrategy stock at that point was at around $12. Right now it's at around $302, roughly speaking. If you do 302 divided by 12, that's around 25x. That means Bitcoin did less than 9x. In the same time period, MicroStrategy did a 25x. That which means in the bull run or in an uptrend, MicroStrategy outperforms Bitcoin. But when in the downtrend, let's say from February 2021 till the December 2022 drop, MicroStrategy stock dropped by about 90%, whereas Bitcoin dropped by only 77% from 69k till about $15,000. That means in a bull market, MicroStrategy outperforms Bitcoin. In the bear market, it underperforms Bitcoin. So it's a leverage play against Bitcoin. In terms of what the recent price action, again back in November 2020, middle of November 2024, the price was at around $530. Right now the price is at around $302. That represents almost a $230 decline in the price over the course of 6 weeks. And in terms of the percent drop, it's roughly a 45% drop. If on the other hand the prices drop to this $277 levels, which represents the 21 week simple moving exponential moving average, and $255, which represents the 20 week simple moving average. Historically speaking, again, ever since March of 2023, these two moving averages together have held as support. If you ignore a couple of weeks over here, most of the price action has for MicroStrategy over the course of the last 2 years has been above this bull market support band. The third line that you're seeing is the 8 week simple moving average. In a major upswing, the primary level of support is the 8 week simple moving average. But again, you can see that historically speaking, in a continued downtrend, the 8 week simple moving average does get taken out and the prices do fall below this blue line. But eventually they find support at either at this green line, which is the 21 week exponential moving average, or the 20 week simple moving average, which is this red line. Right now that green line is coming in at around $277, and the red line, which is the 20 week moving average, which is a slower average, slowly moving average, is at around $255. Next week, the 20 week simple or 21 week moving average could be somewhere between $288 and $275, as these averages are moving up with time, because most of the last 20 weeks have been green, only a couple of weeks are in red. So likelihood of these averages having an upward bias is more than the downward bias. If the prices do tend to decline, the primary level of support could be somewhere between $275 and $280 and $275. What would be the key to watch is how the price behaves with respect to these two moving average. If they find support, what are the primary levels of support? That could be answered by these moving averages. In terms of the price forecast that we have for MicroStrategy, this is again when they started buying Bitcoin early August of 2020. Since then, at a weekly level, this is the price action for MicroStrategy. You can check that out on these price tracking tools such as TradingView. Again, this is instead of candles we are using average weekly price. Right now the price is at a weekly level at around $302 for this week. The directionality based forecast by our machine learning model trained on this weekly price action is, this is the base case scenario forecasted by the model between $291 and about $530 or $540 between now and early June of 2025. That is the next 6 months. In a continued downtrend, the bear case scenario for MicroStrategy is between $144 and $236. If in a uptrend for the next 3 months or so, the price could be between $366 and about $1,000 till the middle of March of 2025. We are excluding the second leg of the move because MicroStrategy last time around in the post-halving year did peak out in the first quarter of 2021 itself, and the price did essentially a 3x from $32 till about $106. This time around everything is multiplied by 10. Again, back then the yearly close for 2020 was at around $37. This time is at around $302. A 3x from that point in time could be somewhere between $900 and $1,000 early in 2025. That is one way to analyze. Again, the second leg of the move requires further analysis and further insights into what Bitcoin could do and what narratives are of Bitcoin are favorable in 2025. So that's why we are curtailing the scope of the forecast till just one quarter, at least for the bull case scenario. And last but not the least is what MicroStrategy could do between now and end of year 2040. This is our compound annual growth rate based simulation, where we assume for this particular case, again what we assume is we have two cases. First is the bull case for MicroStrategy, and then the Uber bull case. We'll start with the bull case. We assume over here MicroStrategy stock grows by 45% year over year and declines 50% only once in every 4 years when Bitcoin is in bear market. 3 years of 45% growth, 1 year of 50% decline. Again, that is what Bitcoin has done. Again, if you look at Bitcoin's ROI through the years, Bitcoin for 2024 has an ROI of about 108%. In 2023 the ROI was at around 150%. In 2022, when the prices were in a downturn, that is Bitcoin was in a downturn, the ROI was negative 65%. In 2021 the ROI was at around positive 57%. So an average of 45% going forward as the market cap of Bitcoin approaches $2 trillion. Non-bear market non-bear market, that is 3 years, growing at around 35%, and MicroStrategy being a leverage on Bitcoin growing at around 45%. Whereas in bear market, instead of declining by 65%, as the upside is capped, downside is also protected slightly better with 45% downturn for Bitcoin and 50% downturn for MicroStrategy. This is the first scenario, which is the bull case, starting with MicroStrategy ending 2025 at around $700 roughly speaking, with a 60% growth next year in 2025, and decline again once every 4 years, decline of about 50% from $702 to exactly half at around $350, then growing 3 years at 45%, 2029 ending at around roughly speaking $1,000, 2033 roughly speaking $1,500 $1,600, 2037 at around $2,500, and 2040 at around $2,600. This is the bull case with 45%. growth. In case Bitcoin itself grows at around 40-45%, MicroStrategy being a leverage play growing at around 55%, Bitcoin declining in bear market at around 50%, MicroStrategy declining at around 60%, that's the uber bull higher volatility case for MicroStrategy. And in that case, simulated returns of in 2025 at around $845, MicroStrategy trading at that point, declining 60% in 2026. In 2029, instead of $1,000, MicroStrategy grows to about $1,250. In 2033, to about $1,875. In 2037, essentially $2,700. But again, you can see the trajectory is more of the same, but the way to get to that point in time with higher volatility is slightly different. So those are the two scenarios for MicroStrategy. This is again assuming there is no stock split. If there is a stock split, again, based on how the stock split occurs, you essentially divide the price with the additional number of shares in an event of stock split. But with this model, what is evident that the recent price, again, to do a roughly a 10x from this point in time, would require at least one or two bull runs in between, and from that point in time, again, early as about 12 to 13 years from here, a 10x to about 3k is what is forecasted using this compound annual growth rate based model. And with this, I would like to conclude the first major conclusion being that in the coming weeks, the prices to watch are the 20-week and 21-week exponential and simple moving averages, 20 to $277 and the $255 level to watch. In terms of the compound annual growth rate based models, in 2025, the first target at around $700, and the higher end of the target at around $845. In terms of the machine learning based price forecast, the directionality or the base case forecasted by the model coming in at around price between 300 and around 540k for $540, and in the bull case between $366 to about $1,000, in the bear case between $144 to about $236. So with that, I would like to conclude the video. Hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, please give us a like and subscribe, and hope to see you again tomorrow. Thank you and have a nice day. Bye bye.